Hey guys, Lord here, back with a new Remnant 2 video. Today's video is going to be a build video, kind of. I'm honestly not deeply ingrained enough in this game and haven't finished Apocalypse and Nightmare and all that to get everything and fully understand all the best building techniques. However, I have made a super strong setup that revolves around what I think is one of, if not the best, weapon mutator in the game, Twisting Wounds. So to start out, let's talk about how to get this mutator. This will require you to run Losum until you get either Cotton's Kiln or the Butcher's Quarters. I've been unable to find it in Cotton's Kiln, however I've heard that you can. A buddy and I ran Cotton's Kiln like 4 or 5 times yesterday, but I couldn't find it at all. However, all 3 times that I've gone to Butcher's Quarter, I've found this mutator. So here's where you find it. So in order to find this mod, you're going to look for this small sewer area down here. You can see it from this other side, however, you can't get down to it unless you come this way. So you're going to come up and around this backside, and past this part before you go underneath won't be shown on your map. I've already done it, so that's why you can see it. But you're just going to drop down into this sewer while going underneath that original little bridge. You're then going to go under this one, drop down here. Then you're going to have to do a little bit of Elden Ring style parkour. Be careful, especially in multiplayer, as you can knock each other off. It is a way my friend and I found to die after searching for this for a couple hours. You're going to hop up here. There's a ring, which is called the Shiny Hog Lure, which you can grab here. I already have it. You then hop over this, drop down into some more sewers. And then on your right, there's going to be a lever. He's going to spawn up back there. You're going to go ahead, pull this lever, and then once you kill him, you will get the mod. As you can see, after I killed him, I got some scrap. That's because I already have the mod, but that's the basic gist of it. Alright, so now that we have the mutator, let's talk about why it's so strong. So first and foremost, this has to be fully upgraded to plus 10 for it to really shine. That's because Twisting Wounds gives you a plus 20% damage to bleeding enemies, which is great, but hard to do unless you have it at plus 10. At plus 10, any ranged weak spot or critical hit will instantly inflict bleed. This means all you have to do is hit a weak spot. Bleed is then instantly procced for 10 seconds, giving you the plus 20% damage for those 10 seconds. Any subsequent weak spot or critical hits will reset this 10-second timer, allowing you to have really great uptime, especially on boss fights. And since there's only 2 bosses in the game that don't have weak spots, and you can still hit crits on those bosses to inflict bleed anyway, this mutator makes insanely short work of any boss fight. However, that's just the beginning. If we pair this with the Abrasive Whetstone Amulet, things start to get really wild. Now this amulet can be purchased from Cass in Ward 13. I'm not 100% sure if there's a particular event or setting that you have to do in which she starts to sell this, but I know you can regularly check her inventory as it does rotate, or if you have a friend whose Cass sells it, you could join that session and buy it there. Now the Abrasive Whetstone gives us a plus 15% crit chance on bleeding enemies and a whopping 30% critical damage on bleeding enemies as well. Now you can see where we're going with this. If you also add in the Probability Cord Ring for another 30% crit damage, as well as Xania's Malice for 30% weak spot damage after hitting consecutive weak spot hits, we really start to rack up the damage. Now since all damage in Remnant is additive, the math here is really simple. You start out with 100% base damage of your weapon, you then add 20% to bleeding enemies from the mutator itself, 30% on critical hits from the amulet, 30% on critical hits from the probability cord, and 30% on weak spot hits from Xania's ring. We can get up to 200% total damage on weak spot critical hits. And this is just from our basic build. If you're running a Hug setup with maxed out Hunter class, we can also get a bonus 50% damage from the Hunter Shroud Ambush, which takes us to 260% damage. Now this can be further bolstered with your additional 2 ring slots, as well as certain concoctions, relics, and other weapon buffs. But as you'll see in the background footage, just this basic setup that I'm showing you now absolutely rips through Root Nexus and the Corruptor. Now personally, I like to couple this with Nightfall's weapon ability, as the infinite ammo and fully automatic dishes out crazy amounts of damage. But I really think that this can work great with any ranged weapon. Another great choice is Deceit, since its weapon mod gives you guaranteed weak spot hits anywhere on an enemy. I also like to run the shotguns, such as Ford Scattergun, the double barrel, especially for ambush, the double barrel is great, or the full auto shotgun. But seriously, pretty much any weapon that you like can run this setup with decent success, so be sure to give it a try. Again, I don't know enough and haven't unlocked everything yet to give out a definitive, min-maxed version of this build, but the basics are there and it still really does shred. Now, if you've got any rings or skills that you would personally add to this build, definitely leave a comment down below so I can try those out or so other people can try them out. That would be super helpful. If you did enjoy this video, guys, I would definitely ask that you leave a thumbs up for more Remnant 2 content just like this. With all that being said, guys, I thank you so much for watching. I wish you all a good day and happy hunting.